Now, I'm going to ask questions about Jane and Anne. Are Jane and Anne overweight?
Are Jane and Anne overweight?
No, Jane and Anne aren't overweight.
No, Jane and Anne aren't
Are they
overweight.
slim?
Are they slim?
Yes, they're slim.
Yes, they're slim.
Are they slim or overweight?
Are they slim or overweight?
They're slim.
They're slim.
Two years ago, were they slim?
2 years ago, were they slim? 2 years ago, were
No,
they slim?
they weren't slim 2 years ago.
No, they weren't slim
2
2
years
years
ago,
ago.
were they slim or overweight?
2 years ago, were they slim or overweight?
2 years ago, they were overweight.
2 years ago, they were
Are they
overweight.
still overweight now?
Are they still overweight now?
No, they aren't. Now, they're no longer overweight.
No, they aren't. Now they are
Did
no
they
longer
used to
overweight.
be overweight?
Did they used to be overweight?
Yes, that's correct. They used to be overweight.
Yes, that's correct. They used
When
to
were
be
they
overweight.
overweight?
When were they overweight?
They were overweight 2 years ago.
They were overweight 2 years ago.
Two years ago, were Jane and Anne both overweight?
2 years ago, were Jane and Anne both overweight?
Yes, that's correct. 2 years ago, Jane and Anne were both overweight.
Yes, that's correct. 2 years ago,
Were they
Jane and
equally
Anne was
overweight?
both overweight.
No, they weren't equally overweight.
Were
One
they
of them
equally
was
overweight?
more overweight than the other.
No, they weren't equally overweight.
Was Anne more
One of
overweight
them
than
was
Jane?
more overweight than the other. Was Anne more
No,
overweight
Anne
than
wasn't
Jane?
more overweight than Jane.
No, Anne
Who
wasn't
was
more
more
overweight than
overweight than
Jane.
the other?
Who was more overweight than the other?
Jane was more overweight than Anne.
Jane was more overweight
Were
than
Jane a
Anne.
little overweight or very overweight?
Was Jane a little overweight or very
Well,
overweight?
Jane was very overweight.
Well, Jane
What about
was
Anne? Was
very
Anne
overweight.
a little overweight or very overweight?
What about Anne? Was Anne a little overweight or
Anne
very
was a
overweight?
little overweight.
Anne was a little
Tell
overweight.
me again, who was more overweight than the other?
Tell me again, who was more overweight than the other?
Jane was more overweight than Anne.
Jane was more overweight
Is
than
Jane
Anne.
still overweight?
Is Jane still overweight?
No, Jane is no longer overweight.
No, Jane is no longer
Is Anne
overweight.
still overweight?
Is Anne still overweight?
No, Anne is no longer overweight.
No, Anne is no longer
Did
overweight.
Jane and Anne used to be overweight?
Did Jane and Anne used to be overweight?
Yes, Jane and Anne used to be overweight.
Yes, Jane and Anne
When were
used
they
to be overweight. When were they overweight? When were they overweight?
They were overweight 2 years ago.
They were overweight 2 years ago.
How overweight were they?
How overweight were they?
Well, Jane was very overweight, and Anne was a little overweight.
Well, Jane were little overweight.
Now,
were very
I'm
overweight,
going to ask
and
questions
Anne
about
was a
Kate and
little
her
overweight.
brother Tom. When Kate and Tom were little, did they think Superman was real?
When Kate and Tom were little, did they think Superman was real?
No, they didn't think Superman was real when they were little.
No, they didn't think Superman was
Who did they
real
think
when
was
they were
real
little.
when they were little?
Who did they think was real when they were little?
When they were little, they thought Santa Claus was real.
When they were little, They thought Santa Claus
Did they
was
think zombie
real.
was real?
Did they think zombies were
No,
real?
they did think zombie was real.
No, they didn't think zombies
Who does it think
were
was real?
Who did they think was real?
They thought Santa Claus was real.
They thought Santa Claus was real.
When Tom was a boy, did he have a friend named Nick?
When Tom was a boy, did he have a friend named Nick?
Yes, that's correct. When Tom was a boy, he had a friend named Nick.
Yes, that's correct.
What did
When Tom
Nick
was a
tell
boy,
him
he
one
had a
day?
friend named Nick. What did Nick tell him one day?
One day, Nick told him that Santa Claus wasn't real.
One day, Nick told him
Did Nick
that
tell him
the
that
Santa
Superman
Claus
wasn't
wasn't real. Did Nick tell him that Superman wasn't real?
Nick didn't tell him that Superman wasn't real.
No, Nick didn't tell him that Superman
Did Nick
wasn't
tell
real.
him that zombies weren't real?
Did Nick tell him that zombies were real?
No, Nick didn't tell him that zombies weren't real.
No, Nick didn't tell him that zombies
What did Nick
were
tell
real.
him?
What did Nick tell him? What did Nick tell him?
Nick told him that Santa Claus wasn't real.
Nick told him that the Santa Claus wasn't real.
When Tom realized that Santa Claus wasn't real, did he feel angry?
When Tom realized the Santa Claus wasn't real, did he feel angry?
No, that's not how we felt.
No,
when
that's
Tom
not how he
realized that
felt.
Santa wasn't real, he didn't feel angry.
When Tom realized
Did
the
he
Santa
feel
Claus wasn't real,
embarrassed?
he didn't feel angry.
No, he didn't feel embarrassed.
Did he feel
How did he feel?
embarrassed? No, he didn't feel embarrassed. How did he feel?
He felt surprised and sad at the same time.
He felt
Who was
surprised
surprised
and sad at the same time.
time?
Who was surprised and sad at the same time?
It was Tom. Tom was surprised and sad at the same time.
It was Tom. Tom was surprised and sad at the same time.
When Tom got home that day, what did he do?
When Tom got home that day, what did he do?
When Tom got home that day, he told Kate that Santa didn't actually exist.
When Tom got home that day, he
Did he
told
tell
Kate
Kate
that
that the
Santa didn't
parents were
actually
sick?
exist. When Tom got home that day,
No,
What did he
didn't tell
tell-
Kate that the parents were sick.
did he tell Kate that
Did he tell
their
Kate that
parents
ghosts
were
didn't
sick?
actually exist?
He didn't tell Kate that their parents were sick.
No, he didn't tell Kate that ghosts didn't actually exist.
Did he tell Kate that
What did he
The
tell
ghost-
Kate?
didn't actually exist? No, he didn't tell Kate that the gods didn't
He
actually
told Kate
exist.
that Santa didn't actually exist.
What did he tell Kate? He told Kate that Santa Claus didn't actually exist.
When Kate realized that Santa didn't exist, did she laugh?
When Kate realized that Santa Claus didn't exist, did she laugh?
No. Kate did laugh when she realized that Santa didn't exist.
No, Kate didn't
What happened
laugh
when she realized that
when she
Santa didn't
realized
exist?
Santa Claus didn't exist.
When she realized that Santa didn't exist, she cried for almost an hour.
What did
She cry
do?
for just a few minutes?
What did she do when she realized the Santa didn't exist? When she realized the Santa didn't exist, she cried for almost an hour.
No, She did cry for just a few minutes.
Did she cry for just
How
a few
long did
minutes?
she cry?
No, she didn't cry for just
She
a
cried
few
for
minutes.
almost an hour.
For just a few minutes.
Was it Tom who cried for almost an hour?
Was this Tom who
No,
cried
it
for
wasn't
almost
Tom
an
who
hour?
cried for almost an hour.
No, it wasn't Tom
Who cried for almost an hour?
Who cried for almost an hour? Who cried for
It was
almost
Kate.
an hour?
Kate cried for almost an hour.
It was Kate. Kate cried for almost an hour.
Now, I'm going to ask questions about two sisters named Grace and Emma. Do Grace and Emma have pets?
Do Grace and Emma have pets?
Yes, Grace and Emma have pets.
Yes, Grace and
Are
Emma
their pets
have
dogs?
pets. Are their pets dogs? Are they pet dogs?
No, their pets aren't dogs.
No, their pet
Are their
aren't
pets
dogs.
cats?
Are they pet cats?
No, their pets aren't cats.
No, their pets aren't
What
cats.
kind of animal are their pets?
What kind of animal are their pets?
Their pets are spiders.
Their pets are
How
spiders.
many spiders do they have?
How many spiders do they have?
They have 3 spiders.
They have 3
Do
spiders.
they think their spiders are scary?
Do they think the spiders are scary?
No, they don't think their spiders are scary.
No, they don't think
What do they
their
think about their
spiders are
spiders?
scary. What did they think about their
Well,
spiders?
they think their spiders are cute.
They think their spiders are cute.
When Grace and Emma were young, were they afraid of birds?
When Grace and Emma were young, were they afraid of birds?
No, they weren't afraid of birds when they were young.
No, they weren't afraid
Were
of
they
birds
afraid of
when they were
dogs?
young. Were they afraid of dogs?
No, they weren't afraid of dogs.
No, they weren't.
What were they
wasn't
afraid of?
dogs. What were they afraid of?
They were afraid of spiders.
They were afraid of spiders.
When they were young, did they think spiders were cute?
When they were young, did they think spiders were cute?
No, they didn't think spiders were cute when they were young.
No, they didn't think the
Did
spiders
they think spiders
cute
were
when they were young.
interesting?
Did they think
No,
the spiders
they didn't
were
think
interesting?
spiders were interesting.
No, they didn't think the
What did
spiders
they think
were
about spiders?
interesting. What did they think about the spiders?
They thought spiders were really scary.
They thought the spiders
Who thought
were
spiders
really
were scary?
Who thought the spiders were really
Grace
scary?
and Emma thought spiders were scary.
Grace and Emma thought the spiders were scary.
Did Grace and Emma watch a cartoon one day?
Did Grace and Emma watch the cartoon one day?
Yes, they did. Grace and Emma watched a cartoon one day.
Yes, they did.
Was the
Grace and
cartoon
Emma
about
watched
dogs?
the cartoon one day. Was the cartoon about dogs?
No, the cartoon wasn't about dogs.
No, the cartoon wasn't
Was
about
the
dogs.
cartoon about cats?
Was the cartoon about cats?
No, the cartoon wasn't about cats
No,
either.
the cartoon wasn't about cats
What was
either.
the cartoon about?
What was the cartoon about?
The cartoon was about spiders.
The cartoon was about
Were there
spiders.
spiders in the cartoon?
Were there spiders in the cartoon?
Yes, there were spiders in a cartoon.
Yes, there were spiders in the cartoon. Yes, there were spiders in the cartoon.
While watching the cartoon, did they feel bored?
While watching the cartoon, Did they feel
No,
boring?
they did
Bored?
feel bored while watching the cartoon.
No, they didn't
Was the
feel
cartoon
bored
boring?
while watching the cartoon. Was
No, the
cartoon
cartoon wasn't
funny?
boring.
Was the cartoon
Was the
boring? No, the
cartoon
cartoon
funny?
wasn't boring. Was the cartoon funny?
Yes, the cartoon was funny.
Yes, the cartoon was
Was the
funny.
spiders in the cartoon scary? No, the
Wa- Was the spiders in the cartoon scary?
spiders in the cartoon weren't scary.
No, the spiders
Were the
with
spiders
the
in the
cartoon
cartoon cute?
was scary.
Yes, the spiders in the cartoon were cute.
Was the spiders in the cartoon cute? Yes, the spiders in the cartoon were cute.
Before they watched the cartoon, were they afraid of spiders?
Before they watched the cartoon, were they afraid of
Yes,
spiders?
that's correct. Before they watched the cartoon, they were afraid of spiders.
Yes, that's correct. Before they
What
watched the
happened after
cartoon,
they watched the
they were
cartoon?
afraid of spiders. What happened after they watched the cartoon?
After they watched the cartoon, the fear of spider was completely gone.
After they watched the cartoon,
After
their
they
fear
watched
of
the
spiders
cartoon,
was
were they
completely
still afraid
gone.
of spiders?
After they watched the cartoon, were they afraid of spiders?
No, they weren't. After they watched the cartoon, they were no longer afraid of spiders.
No, they were. After
Was
they
the
watched
fear of
the
spiders
cartoon,
completely gone?
they were no longer afraid of spiders.
Yes, that's correct. The fear of spiders was completely gone.
Was their fear of spiders completely gone? Yes, that's correct. Their fear about spiders was completely gone.